You've stood in front of the mirror and said it. I am confident. I am wealthy. I am enough. Maybe a coach told you to, or an app, or a book with a one-word title. For about 4 seconds, it felt like something. Then you walked out the door and nothing had changed. Except a small part of you that now felt slightly stupid for having tried. There's a reason for that, and it isn't weak willpower or a lack of belief. The sentence itself was built to fail you. Some researchers at the University of Waterloo tested this properly. They sorted people by how they already felt about themselves, then had them repeat a simple line. I'm a lovable person. Right after, they measured mood and how good people felt about themselves. The ones who already liked themselves got a small lift. The ones who didn't, the exact people the whole ritual gets sold to, came out feeling worse than a group who'd said nothing at all. For the people it's aimed at, the promised lift just wasn't there. Your mind runs a background chart the whole time you're talking, and its one purpose is to keep your story about yourself consistent. Psychologists call it self-verification. You feel broke, you say, I am wealthy, and the mind does the job it's built for. It checks the claim. It holds the words up against the bank balance, the rent, the email you haven't opened, and it says, no. And now it's worse. You're broke, and you've just caught yourself lying to your own face. The size of the gap is the whole problem. Say I am confident walking into a date when your hands are actually shaking, and the words land so far from the truth that your mind tosses them and rubs your nose in the distance on the way out. Same with the man who can't look in the mirror telling himself he's beautiful. Same with the woman turned down from a 9th job who calls herself a magnet for success. The bigger the claim, the harder the snapback. You aimed at a place you weren't standing, and some part of you knew it. A second thing is going on, and it's sneaky because it feels productive. You picture the win in full and sit in it as if it's already yours, and that bleeds off the exact energy you'd need to go get it. Gabriele Oettingen has spent years measuring that effect, and I Am Rich is a tiny hit of that finished feeling, paid for out of the fuel tank. The version of this with real science under it looks almost nothing like the mirror, which is probably why nobody printed it on a mug. In the research, it's called self-affirmation, and it runs on your values instead of your outcomes. A psychologist named Claude Steele found that when people wrote for a few minutes about something they genuinely care about, family or their craft or plain honesty, they came out steadier, less defensive, better under pressure. They hadn't claimed one thing about winning. They just reminded themselves what they were standing on. This is the sentence your mind can't refuse. I am rich is a claim about a scoreboard, and a scoreboard can tell you you're wrong. I care about providing for the people I love is not a claim about the scoreboard at all. It's a value. You can't be wrong about what you value, so there's no gap for the fact checker to find, and it goes straight in. The broke person can't honestly call themselves wealthy. They can say, with a completely straight face, that building something that lasts matters to them. One of those sentences your mind fights. The other, it just weighs through. I want to be straight about the size of this, because overselling it would make me the exact thing this video is against. 2 things. 1, Even the famous backfire study I opened with didn't fully hold up. A later team ran it again, and the dip didn't show. So I won't tell you affirmations wreck you. The honest finding is smaller and more stubborn. The lift the promise just never arrives. 2. The values effect is real, but it's no lightning bolt. It's strongest for someone walking into a moment that threatens who they are. A hard exam, a room they feel they don't belong in, and it thins right out when you dilute it for everyone. A small real edge beats a big fake one that leaves you worse off at the bathroom sink. If you still want the self-talk, there are ways to say it that your mind won't spit back out. Make it believable. I'm learning to speak up in meetings survives where I am fearless gets laughed out of the room. Because the first one is simply true. You really are learning. Ask it instead of announcing it. People who prime themselves with the words, "Will I do this?" outperform the ones who declared, "I will." Because a question opens a door where a statement slams one. And save the values reminder for right before the hard thing, not a random Tuesday morning. Picture someone at the bathroom sink before a conversation they've dreaded all week. They tell the mirror, "I am strong, I am in control," to a face that clearly is neither. And they feel the little drop right after, the same drop as always. One morning, they skip the mirror. Nothing said to it at all. On the walk to work, they write themselves one line instead, about why this conversation actually matters, who it's for, what they don't want to lose. No claim about being strong anywhere in it. It doesn't feel like a breakthrough. It barely feels like anything. But there's no snap back this time, because there's nothing for the mind to catch. And they walk in carrying the one thing the mirror could never hand them. So you were never bad at affirmations. You got handed the wrong sentence, a claim about a place you hadn't reached, then blamed yourself when your own mind refused to swallow it. Drop the outcome. Stand on what you actually value, in words plain enough to be true, and keep them for the moment you need them. That's what Kairo builds its affirmations around, your values and the thing you're actually working on. So the words are ones your own mind will let through. Next time you catch yourself at the mirror reaching for the big line, put it down. Say the true, smaller thing instead, and notice how it doesn't bounce back.